and I'm back at the workshop, and this time I'm with a Volvo. And finally, even though it's been probably over a month at least, I can't remember anymore, I lose track of what day it is, never mind what week it is. Anyway, it's been a while since I blew up third gear. I was still using it, but to be honest, third gear is the most, you know, usable gear in this car. So, well, it's time to change it. Do you want to see the underside of the Volvo? Probably not, but I will anyway. I'll tell you what it's got. I think it's got some modified fucking parallel steering something, I don't bloody know. I don't even know, don't care. Standard Volvos drift fine anyway. I don't really understand why, unless you're at a really pretty decent level, you would worry about fanning about with you know, more lock on these. It's just an excuse people use. Oh, you know, they're crap, so they're like, oh, I need more lock. It's like, nah mate, if you need to learn to drift a standard lock MX-5, then you'll know about no lock. And if you can do that, then you can justify it. Hang on, let me use this GoPro new light thing I've got. Oh, that's better. Gas adjustable shocks, coilovers basically. Yeah, pretty filthy. Typical relatively oily red block. Not too bad, to be fair. Look, I mean, the sump is still red. It's not pissing with oil. Wow, it was until I took the head off and fixed it. But now it's you know, it's got the odd seep, but nothing much. Pretty good. That's the clutch slave cylinder, which yeah, it's that thing that exploded and left me with no gears on the motorway on that previous video. That's a new one. I've got a new, hopefully I don't need it, but I've got a new circlip for it this time, so I've got to take that off. This is what the exhaust consists of. 3-inch single silencer, tailpipe. Underneath is actually solid car, you know what I mean? It's for an ancient old thing, it's not rusty. It's really good nick. Volvos they're decent. They are decent. At the back it's a bit fancier. That's my diff ratio, by the way, 3.54. So not that short. It's one of the longer ones. I don't think it's a standard. I think standard's long, shorter, 3.7 or something. But this has got a 3.54 in it because he broke the other one, the previous guy. But the gearing's fine, to be honest. I could change it and get much faster acceleration, but I can't really be bothered. A few adjustable bars. You got the rear axle link bar jimneys. Viking Fabrications did all these. It's Martin Leaf. He does some really good stuff, to be honest, and at sensible money. This was all on there before I bought the car, but yeah, I know who this guy is, and he's a good bloke, and he does some good stuff. Adjustable panhard bar, again, Viking Fabrications job, and twin calipers, one for the hydraulic handbrake and one for the normal brakes. Again, a Viking's fabrication thing done before I got the car, because I feel the same about hydraulic handbrakes as I do about loads of lock. It's usually people's excuses for being rubbish. What I've got to do today is remove the box. It's relatively simple. The first time I did it, it was a fucking nightmare, because I followed instructions that maybe they work for that guy, but they don't work for me. Gearbox is off, as you can see, and it is on the floor. I took it apart quickly because sometimes on these it's only the selector is knackered and you can weld it back up and pull it back together. But these also come with a magnet that sits there and picks up any crap, and that's the magnet. And as you can see, that's a great number of teeth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, at least 12 teeth, maybe more. So it's fair to say something in this box is knackered. So for now, just going to leave it, and an inspection of this can be for another video. But for now, I'm just going to have to put the other box back on, which is over there, and hope it fits. Well, it's much later in the evening, but the old gearbox is off, new one is on. Didn't film it because it turned into a bit of a ball ache. Thankfully, Thomas turned up, which helped, because I wandered around the workshop and it's like, where the fuck's the transmission jack gone? Turns out Thomas lent it to the guys next door and they've still got it. So yeah, but luckily, because Thomas happened to be coming, he didn't plan to, but he was. He helped me get it down and get it back up again. I'm guessing this box came off an earlier model. The reason I say that is, yeah, it bolted up to the engine, but the speedo sensor was different. The engine mount there, the gearbox mount, sorry, was slightly different. And there was something else I can't remember that was ever so slightly different too. Not sure why. But yeah, I swapped them over and all good. I mean, for all I know, the gearbox mount I took off would have fitted. It looked almost identical, but this was different, and it just looked a bit different. All the bolts in the same place, part number was totally different. And yeah, again with the plug, the one that was on it was very different to that. Looked a lot newer. To be honest, so did the engine mount, but it had a lower part number. So whether it was later ones or what, I ain't got fucking foggiest. I don't know where this box is from. So yeah, it's just one of them really. But yeah, almost back together. Everyone's gone home again now. So yeah, I'm gonna put it back together and say a prayer. I put the gearbox oil in it while it was on the floor still, because easier that way. Yeah, one thing I did do, and it was lucky I had that apart, you know, is when I was looking around thinking about what fits and what don't and how to get things in, because on this one, because this gearbox has clearly been off a few times in the past, all the bolts are different fucking sizes, and it's a nightmare remembering what ones do what. But while looking at these, I realised that engine mount bolt at the bottom there was missing. Of all things to be missing, what holds your engine in is probably not high on the list of things you want to be missing. Luckily, that bolt there is one of the casing bolts from that gearbox, and it fits fucking perfect. So obviously that thing's knackered. It's something I ever want to be used for spares. So you know, I don't need that bolt, and it turns out it's perfect for an engine mount. So yeah, I've put new oil in it. Just got to bolt the prop and gearbox mount and stuff back up, and we're good to go. Right, a little while later, and I think it's all back together. I haven't got any spare bolts lying around, so I'm pretty sure I've done it. Honestly, it's fairly uneventful. As far as I can tell, it's just time to put it back down on the ground and hope it's got gears. Well, I'm sure it's got some gears, but has it got 5? Well, 5 forward gears and 1 reverse. Only one way to find out, I suppose. Well, I'm very happy to report the car drives in all the gears now. So my worry at that box might be shagged. No, thankfully it's fine. I've only driven it backwards and forwards a couple of foot, but whatever, that's enough. The one thing else I've done while I was at the workshop is that, my friends, is an adjustable cam pulley. Where did I get it from? AliExpress? A Wish? I don't even fucking remember. Chinese as fuck, basically. But it does the job. It fits nice, it's built nice, it's fucking decent, and it costs me very little. Can't remember how much, but very little. The other option was like one of them Nuke Performance ones, and yeah, I'm sure they're better, I suppose, but they're like about 150 quid. This was like, don't know, I can't remember now, 50, maybe less, I forget. Either way, it's on. They're very easy to fit on these cars, to be honest. You know, I didn't bother filming it because it's so basic, it's unbelievable. You to do the cam belt tensioner, you literally can push it with your hand to compress it, and then you put a pin through a little hole in there, and that takes the takes the tension off the belt, and then you can just pull it all off and just, you know, make sure everything's lined up. So obviously 0 to the 0 mark, and it's the same down here, and all good. So I think that's all good anyway. I'm not so sure now. You know what, I think I've done it a bit out. Whatever, I'll fix that in a second. But yeah, dead easy. I mean, it takes literally seconds to retime the belt, which I'm probably gonna have to do again now looking at that, because I don't really think it's correct, but I don't matter, I'll do it in a sec. But yeah, reason I got this isn't why most people have these pulleys, as in because they look pretty. I'm doing it because I was told by one of the Scandinavian guys, and generally they know a damn sight more about red block tuning than the rest of us, is about changing the cam timing has a very positive effect on making high-end power. And obviously that's where my car seemed to be falling flat on its face on the dyno, is it was dropping off, you know, peak power is very low. I mean, peak power needs a surprisingly low anyway. You see the cars with over 500 brake and they're making peak power under 6 grand. It's just something about these engines. But this is particularly low. So I'm going to have a play with this to see if I can do it. But that's going to be for another video, because I've got quite a few things I want to test. I'm going to test them on the dyno as well, but I'm going to do some road testing with a timing gear to test a lot of things that in theory may fix my lack of high RPM performance. I mean, on the road it's got it, but on the dyno, like I said, it was dropping off at like under 5 grand, and that's just lame. So yeah, that's where we are now, and by the looks of it, I am going to have to slightly change the cam belt timing, because I think that's still a tough off. But I won't bore you with that one. Remember in that last clip I said the cam timing looked out, and it was obviously my fault, so I needed to adjust it. I had a closer look, and no, it's not my fucking fault. And again, a closer look, and I realised this Chinese adjustable cam pulley ain't as great as it seems. I will show you why. It is, as you can probably see, I don't know how well this focuses, at dead on 0, yeah? But 0 on this equates to the top of the tuff, but the 0 marker on the standard thing is the bottom of the tuff. So it's always a bit out if you've got it on 0. So that would also explain why all these bolt holes at 0 aren't straight, because they fucking designed it wrong. The Wallies. It should be more like that, I'd say. Yeah, they've put these brackets slightly wrong, that's all. Or drilled, it's just a bit wrong, put it that way. So what I'm going to have to do is set it to the real 0 and mark it, you know, the real 0, because obviously that is bullshit. It's a bit annoying, but I'm glad I noticed it now. Yeah, otherwise I'd be like, why the fuck's the car not running properly or whatever. Right, update. I've now made some new timing marks. As you can see, standard is straight up is to the indent, and that's where the little dippy bit is. On this, it was to the top of the tuff, which is, well, wrong. So, because I want to retard the timing to increase power, if anything, I've set it like so. So now 0, that is the correct place. It's fairly far back on the verniers. I can go slightly more if I have to, like, so I could advance it 2 degrees, but no, don't need to do that. So retarding it, how it was retarded about 4 degrees, which isn't bad. I don't know if this is on purpose or what, but the way they've done it, if it really was timed like that, you'd have 4 degrees of cam timing retard as standard at your 0 point, which would, well, it should, on the right engine, increase high RPM performance. Although I've seen on a lot of these Volvos, the lower state of tune ones especially, they advance the cam timing to get more low down because that's what they're after. But that's not what I'm after. So in fact, the original timing marks would have suited me, but it also would give me nothing to go by. So I'd rather have it like this. I mean, if I was going fucking mental, I could do 10 degrees, but it probably wouldn't even run like that. But yeah, 0 is now in the correct place. And yeah, I can go, that's advancing, that's retarding, the cam timing, and go to as much as 10 and about 3 advance. That's bang on, really. I think at most I'll end up going about 4 retarded. But anyway, yeah, I've got marks now. So yeah, this Chinese thing's a bit shit, it turns out, but not that shit, easy to fix. It's like most Chinese stuff. People say, oh, it's rubbish, you know, the wastegates, turbos, whatever. Generally, it's not totally shit, it just needs a bit of love before you fit it. If you just, you know, it's not a fit and forget thing, it's a make right first, otherwise it's shit. But if you've got any sense, you know, it can be worth it still, you know. This bit of effort is not worth the extra 100 and something quid one of these would have cost from somewhere decent, you know. Right, it's now, I don't know, sometime in the morning. Very dark outside. But yeah, car works. Sorted out the cam gear weirdness, Chinese crapness, whatever you want to call it. I've got a lot of testing to do, and I don't know if it's going to be a part of this video or if it's going to be a standalone. So, well, you'll see, because if you're watching this, it'll be the next video. If you ain't watching this, it's probably this video and you can't see it. So yeah, it runs. I'm now going to take it home after I've had a wash because I'm filthy. And yeah, start the testing tomorrow hopefully. So, see you later.